All right. Quick update, very quick update here. I am excited about this, y'all. I'm so excited about this, y'all. Lupe Fiasco's Tetsuo and Youth. I think it's Lupe Fiasco's best album ever. Tetsuo and Youth came out in 2014. This is the 10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary of Tetsuo and Youth. And Warner Music is releasing the 10-year anniversary vinyl. It's got translucent grape vinyl. Look at this. Look how cool this looks. Look at that. Its pre-orders are available right now. You can go ahead and get those together. Down here it says limit 4 per customer. The album that Hip Hop DX describes as glistening with imagination is available for the first time pressed on translucent grape vinyl. I wrote that article. That's my quote. They put my quote on this. This is really cool. If you haven't heard Lupe Fiasco's Tetsuo and Youth, punch yourself in the face. This is really, in my opinion, this is magnum opus. This album came out at a point in time where Lupe had was coming off of he was a few years removed from a major fallout with his record label, Atlantic Records. I did an entire video about this on Hip Hop DX channel, but I think after they were bought by Warner, DX dropped, they deleted the video. They took the video down off their YouTube channel, which I always find really funny. But, and so he had Lasers, that was his first one back. There was Great American Rap Album, which I think is really underrated. And before, this was supposed to be his last album on Warner. They ended up doing Drogas Light, I think, right before or right after this. I think Drogas Light was right after this. I think they picked up the option for one more release. But this album here, the tracks leading up to this, they weren't even on this project. Most of them weren't even on this album. He had a song with Ty Dolla $ign. He had a song with Ed Sheeran. I think he had a song with Common. Like they're making a very mainstream push leading up to this album. And, I think there was some success with those songs, but it seemed like Warner Music was going to shelf him again. And Lupe was, really distraught. He was very upset. And from an album standpoint, just based on the singles that we had seen at that point in time, it felt like it was going to be, a commercial-leaning album. And then it just kept getting pushed back. And then one day, Anonymous, the internet's Batman, Anonymous, sends out a tweet threatening Atlantic Records, their CEOs, their board members. So here's the story. Let's take a look at this. This is actually one of the craziest moments in hip hop history. Lupe's had 2 moments of just the incredible impact an artist can have on their fans and how fans can bail them out. How the audience can come to their aid. I experienced my version of that this week, right? And it just still blows my mind. All of you guys who showed me so much love and support. So I really appreciate that. But this happened with Lupe. So he had one album where fans literally protest outside of Atlantic Records to get them to release Lasers so they could buy it. It's one of the craziest inversions of capitalism. And then there's this one. Hackers claim victory in Lupe Fiasco's censorship row. Anonymous hackers threatened to target the website of Fiasco's label Atlantic unless it issued a release date for its delayed LP Tetsuo and Youth. Let's look at this. This is a crazy moment in history. A division of the hacker group Anonymous claims to have forced Lupe Fiasco's label to settle on a release date for the rapper's new album. Anonymous's Operation Free Lupe is mission accomplished, they declared after Atlantic Records revealed that the LP Tetsuo and Youth will be released on January 20th, 2015. On October 15th, they always do that. America's so backwards sometimes. Like, we don't use a metric system. We use Z's instead of S's, and then we put our dates after the number after the month instead of before. So I always read these international articles in a bit dyslexic way, Shout out to everybody with dyslexia. There's nothing wrong with that. 1 second applause. On October 15th, the popular Twitter account, The Anon Message, presented an ultimatum regarding Fiasco's long-delayed 5th studio album. At Atlantic Records, you have 24 hours to present a statement announcing the immediate release of Tetsuo and Youth, they wrote. If you do not comply, we will launch a direct attack against your website, your associates, and your executives. blatantly censoring Lupe Fiasco is inexcusable. This really happened. I was at DX when this happened. I couldn't believe it. This was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. Like, this is another example of people power. You know what I mean? Approximately 19 hours later, Atlantic Records' Twitter account tweeted the January 20th date, releasing the information without fanfare or any acknowledgement of the anonymous threat. I wouldn't say that either. But Fiasco himself seemed to tip the hat to the hackers. He tweeted, which was interpreted as a subliminal shout-out to one of Anonymous's canonical texts, Alan Moore's graphic novel V for Vendetta. While the anon message expressed a measure of disappointment, damn, we wanted to test that website crasher, they wrote. They were quick to declare victory. At this time, it could be concluded that we have proved our point. We wish music that is educating the masses to keep being released. We will fight for that. We will fight for that. This is what Anonymous said after they threatened Lupe Fiasco's record label at the time. We will fight for music that is educating the masses. This is like what D1 was saying in the conversation with his platinum plan. There's a link to that in the D1 article. You know, he's motivating people to, pledge that they want more diversity. They want more diversity in their music, in their rap music. They want music that's educating the masses to be prioritized. The outspoken Fiasco, with his controversial performances, conspiracy theories, and criticism of Barack Obama, has become hackers' hip-hop hero. When Tetsuo Youth was not released as promised in early 2014, they saw this as evidence of corporate censorship. Fiasco as a silenced revolutionary. Atlantic Records easily put trash music out to the masses and blatantly censor anything that will make people actually think, tweeted Anonymous. When people are fed basic messages, they become as such. Accordingly, the group has also expressed its intention to defend some of Fiasco's peers, conscious rappers like Talib Kweli and Mos Def and Common. This is music we will fight for, they wrote. All right, we've had our fun. Back to covering Ferguson, because that's what was going on at the time. Although Fiasco's second album, The Cool, reached number 7 on the UK album charts, Lasers peaked at number 25. I mean, Lasers did better over here than it did internationally. But that's the backstory to this fantastic vinyl that's available. I'm looking forward to the 10-year anniversary. It comes up in January. This album is amazing to me. It's it's an album I have a personal connection to. I have a personal connection to Lupe Fiasco. He's the artist that inspired me to write about rap music in the first place. He didn't introduce me to hip-hop, of course, but he's the one that inspired me to contextualize my thoughts on what was happening in the culture. Just because what he was saying was so layered and so dope that it literally created rap genius, you know? And so just want to let you guys know that the Tetsuo Youth 10-year anniversary vinyl pre-order is currently available. It looks glorious. And if you've heard this album, if you love this album, let me know which tracks you love in the comments section. Obviously, Mural is an unquestioned hip-hop classic, one of the best lyrical exhibitions in history. That is not conjecture, that's fact. But there's also a lot of great songs on here. Look at that. Great songs on here too. I mean, no scratches. Before we hit a wall, heartbreak and it crashes. Just walk away, no scratches. I love that joint with Nikki Dean. Adoration of the Magi is one of my favorite hooks ever. Why you ready to die? You just a baby. Biggie. Why them tears up under your eyes? You just a baby. Lil Wayne. Keep your head up in the sky. You just a baby. Drake. Quit chasing money, never mind. You're just a baby. Nirvana. It goes on. Lupe's got so many different layers of dopeness in this project. Make sure you check it out. Give it a listen. And if you want to check out the vinyl, if you want to pre-order one, I'll put the link in the description. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here. It's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom happening. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, yes, y'all. You don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes,